So good morning everybody. Today is flexibility flow, so we're going to be moving towards the splits. 2 blocks, some socks would be really good. We're going to be moving dynamically through lunges, half lunges or half splits, coming up a little bit, really tackling in towards the hamstrings, hip flexors, quadriceps. That allows you to be a little more open in there. Maybe a few little back bends just to allow the back to open up a little bit too, but we'll be fab. So let's get moving. Let's start in tabletop. Just take a moment here. When you do get into your tabletop, bring your big toes together, take your knees a little wider, shimmy your bottom back towards your heels in towards a child's pose. Now, child's pose is not feeling comfortable. Take it forward, take the pressure out of the ankles, but more in towards the forehead and in the forearms, and allow yourself to rest here. If your body is feeling okay and it allows you to come back into a wide leg child's pose, great. But I don't want you to be still. I want you to rock your hips from side to side. You can do little figures of 8s as well. And I like to come up a little higher and get in towards my shoulders as well, like a washing machine shoulder, rib cage movement. And that can be done up here as well. Just some movement, allowing your body a little bit of time to think, okay, before we have a bit of stillness. And as you're easing in towards this pose, just start to check in the areas that maybe feel a little tighter. So hips, ankles. For me, it is always going to be my lower back in this posture. Start to deepen the breath. Now the breath is going to be very, very important all the way through. Because when postures become a little harder or the stretch becomes a little more intense, sometimes you hold the breath. So the breath needs to continue to flow throughout. But when you're ready, find your little bit of stillness. Beautiful time to set an intention or an affirmation or even a reason for why you're here. Most of us are here for the Gosh Challenge. So our intention is for the children to raise some money for a wonderful charity. But whatever you're here for, I wish you a beautiful practice. Always listen to the body. Remember, I'm only a guide, so you can always step up the practice or even change it if you choose to. Slowly ripple all the way back up through your to your tabletop, but you're going to ripple forwards, back and into your child's pose. So it's through table, through a cat, through a cow, back towards a child's pose. So rippling through. The legs can stay wide, they can come back underneath you. It doesn't matter. It's just the undulation through the body is what I'm wanting. You can move the head. You can move it in through different sides. Again, just invite a lot of movement here. One more. Lovely. And then meet me back in a stationary tabletop. Bring everything underneath you. Right leg, big hip crank, big movement. The bigger, the better. But what I don't want you to do is sink in the shoulder blades, the shoulder girdle. Press up through those hands. Be strong through your upper body. Good. Change the direction of that circle. Nice. And very carefully stretch that leg back, stretching through your calf. Have a little rock forwards and backwards. Good. And then we're going to do little rainbows. So you're going to tap all the way to the side of the left, up and over to the right. Tap, 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 tap. Hello, hamstring. Give it a little bit of a work outside of the glute. as well. 4 to go. Lovely. Extend that leg all the way up. Imagine the toe is going to touch your head as the knee bends. Lift the head. Draw the knee all the way in towards the nose, curling in. Good. Lifting up, toe touches the head. Draw it back in. 2 more. Lifting up. Drawing it in. 1 more. Lifting it up. Curling in. Step that foot to the outside of your right hand. Maybe shuffle your left leg back. Grab your bricks. And again, big circles. Big movements. Nice. I'm going to tuck my toes off the back leg and engage it here. And I'm going to have little pulses down. You do not have to be here. You still be in that low lunge and having a little pulse down. But it's slow, it's calculated, it's not bouncing all over the place, no. It's slow, dynamic, yes, but awakening. Couple more. Lovely. Slowly release, push back into a half monkey. Grab your bricks, flex through the foot. Have a little wiggle here of the tail, digging the foot in, giving everything just that little bit of movement. Nice. Again, we're still awakening. We're going to move forwards and backwards now. So move forward, add some freedom of movement as you move back. As I push back into my half monkey, I actually like to lower my belly down, sticking my bottom out. This encourages the stretch in the back of the hamstring. But remember, this is still early. So small, mindful movements with a little bit of a dynamic kick is perfect. Those of you that want to go a little deeper, of course you can. A couple more. Lovely. Okay. Meet me back in that half monkey. Walk your hands around to the long side of the mat towards the left. Your back knee needs to turn and to pivot as the other leg slides out. So you're now in what I call side plank or gate pose. I've got my bricks. Let's move forward, let's move back. But my foot is moving with me. So now I'm stretching in toward the inner thigh. And as I turn the foot out, I'm getting a nice little bit of rotation in toward the top of the hip. Lovely. Couple more. Right, meet me back here, but turn the foot out, bend the knee. We've been here before. Push up, we're going to come into our kneeling warrior 2, forward and back, forward and back. Let's add some arms, lifting up and back, up and back. Good. And if you're thinking my knee feels like it's going to fall off, add some padding underneath or keep your hands on the floor. Being here is perfect. Couple more. Last one. Lovely. Bring your hands back to the floor. Slide that knee towards you. Good. Have a little shake. Switch legs. That leg pops out and then we'll just move backwards. So other leg out, moving side, forward, back, around. Now notice the difference how this inner thigh feels compared to the other. Lovely. Beautiful. Slowly come up, turn the toe, bend the knees, we'll move forward and back. Add some arms when you feel ready. Couple more. Lovely. Good, bringing your hands towards the bricks. Walk them around now towards the front of the mat. Pivot through that back leg, keep walking it. Keep walking it. And then we start to move forward and back in our low lunge. Half monkey flow. If you need to realign the bricks, please do that. But moving forward and back. Easy on this side. Now you'll notice one side is more accepting of the stretch. The other side is not as accepting. And this is this side for me. And it really stems from that hip flexor towards my lower back. I put it down to always favoriting one leg over the other for certain postures, especially now teaching. I only demonstrate on one side, which is terrible. So yeah, it catches up in the end. Lovely. Meet me back in that half monkey. Give it a little wiggle, shake the tail. Keep finding a little bit of length. Re-bending back in towards your lunge. But that leg now is going to slide back. And you're going to stretch through the calf, giving it a little wiggle. We're going to start our little rainbow tips. Tip, 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 tip. Tip, you got 4 to go. Lovely. Extend that leg all the way up, lifting the head, the toe touches the head, drawing it all the way in, nose touches the knee. Good. Lifting up on the inhale, drawing it in on your exhale. Again. Two more. Last one to go. Good, keep that knee bent and start your big hip cranks. Big circles, big movements. Watch the shoulder blades, watch the girdle. Don't let it sink in the arms to go, keep it strong. Other side. Lovely. And bring it all back down, tabletop. Walk your hands, a handstand in front of you. Tuck your toes, sit bones back to heels, lift up to downward facing dog and pedal it out, walk it out. Sway it out. Move in the rib cage. Encourage your length. Good, looking forwards, walk your feet towards your hands. Soften your knees. Take the feet a little wider. Bend your knees and take elbows. Allow yourself just to hang. You're going to bend your knees, but you're going to keep your belly towards your thighs. But you're going to bend and you're going to straighten. We're going to bend and you're going to straighten. Now, what I want you to think about is that belly connecting to the thighs at all times. So what you want is you want the stretch in the back of the legs in towards that back as well. Just allow yourself to bend and to straighten. Now, one way to feel a little more is shift some more weight in towards the toes and then bend and straighten. Ways to feel less is take more weight into the heels and have your bends and straightens there. And also keep the knees more soft. Couple more. Last one. Good. You can find your bricks if you want to. Turn your toes out. Bend your knees and sway yourself down into your yogi squat. Now, those of you that do feel comfortable being all the way down, great. I love the movement here. Remember, we can be up a little higher and being here and just watching our knees. But I like this little bit of movement. Sometimes I like a little bit of a change of my knee. Be a little bit more playful here. Because what I find normally we come into Malasana and we just sit, which is fine. But for me, I like movement. I like to discover more places where I can find some more places to sit a little deeper. Maybe pushing the knees open a little bit more. Having that little bit of a rock. Bringing my tailbone underneath just that little bit more. Lovely. Gently turn the toes in, straighten the legs, shake it out. And roll up through the body. At the very, very top, inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, deep forward fold. Halfway lift, inhalation. Exhalation, plant your hand, step back with the right foot. Bend the knee. Good. Have a little moment here before you push back into your half split. Slide that foot forward just a little. Give yourself a second here before you re-bend back into lunge. Plant your hands, step back, down dog. Ripple forward to plank. Lowering the knees, arch the back, chest, chin to the floor. Scoop up to your first cobra. Give yourself a little moment here. Rolling up and back. Downward facing dog. Lovely. Right leg through the gates of the arms. Sink the hips down. Have a little pulse here, a little small pulse before you lower the knee. Have a moment before you push back to your half split. Slide that foot forward just a little bit more. Rebend back into lunge. Engage the back leg. It's going to be a big step forward with the back leg. Little hops if you need to. Deep forward fold. Raise the arms back up. Inhale. Squeeze the glutes. Take a little mini back bend. Exhale, deep forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, step back with your left foot. Good. Stay a little higher with me. You're going to bend in the back knee ever so slightly. Push the bottom back, straighten the front leg. I've got my bricks. Then you're going to move back forward into a lunge. Back into another back lunge. And again, moving it back forward. This time, lower that back knee. Slide that front foot forward just a little bit more. Good. Slowly bring it back in for your lunge. Move your bricks out the way. Back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Ripple forwards, plank pose. Lower the knees. Arch the back, chest, chin, scoop forward to your cobra. Up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Left leg through the gates of the arms. Bend a little bit more. Drop the knee for a moment. Engage the back knee. Bend it now, straightening the front leg. Again, a little bend forwards. Change your flow. I've got my bricks with me. Bricks have got a lot of height. One more. Good, meet me back in lunge, lowering the back knee. Slide that front foot forward just a little bit more. Sink the hips forward and down. Excellent. Bring it back in, which is really hard. Plant your hands, step back, down dog. Pedal it out. Look forwards, ripple to plank. Knees, chest, chin. Scoop through and up to cobra. Up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Lovely. Right leg lifts high to the sky. Bring it through the gates of the arms. Drop your back knee. Slide that front foot forward a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. I'm keeping my back toe tucked so I can just straighten and bring it back down. Good. Bring yourself back up, downward facing dog. That's the hard bit. Really tough. Pedal it out. Left leg high to the sky. Bring it through the gates of the arms. Give it a helping hand. Drop the back knee. Slide the foot along. Give yourself a moment here. Good. Push it back. Downward facing dog. My little legs are starting to shake. Woo. Lower down to your knees. Sit on your bottom. Swing the legs around. Give them a little shake. Yeah. Well done. Give yourself just that little ease, maybe a little shake. Maybe your body's in a little bit of shock, or you are. Just give yourself that second. Good. Last little bits of stretch in the back of our hamstrings, flex through the feet. Really sit on top of those sit bones. Use your brick if you need to, or grab your brick. Raise the hands up on the inhale. Exhale, reaching forwards. Find a little bit of length here. Each in-breath invites a little bit more space. The exhale allows you to go a little bit further. One more. Lovely. Slowly roll it up. Bend your knees. Very slow descent to the floor. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a second. Good. Stretch your legs up. Give them a shake. Draw your knees back in and have a little circle. They could be separated circles. They could be one big circle. Now, wonderful thing about a flexibility flow is obviously when we come down towards the ground here, we don't have to stretch out too much. It's more just easing, closing it down a little. Take your knees up and over to the right side for a twist. Opening out your left arm. Good. Lifting up and over, opposite side. And gently bring it back in. I invite you now to do anything that feels comfortable. It could be as literally just throw the legs up, shake it out. Those of you that like a happy baby, do a happy baby, or even a shoulder stand if that feels good. But for now, it's actually just allowing those muscles a moment to just download everything it has done. Slowly coming on down and finding a resting place that feels comfortable. May that be knock-kneed, butterfly, legs long, not long. But actually just take a moment to exhale, a sigh of relief. And have a little smile go across your face as that flexibility flow now has come to an end. You've opened a lot around the hips, your hamstrings. So throughout the day, just notice how you feel, if there's any emotions that maybe have been unlocked. Actually, not just emotions, it could be anything that you store. Allow yourself just to sink and feel heavy within your mat. Lovely. You're more than welcome to stay on the floor. You're more than welcome to roll to a side. Or you're more than welcome to bring yourself up to a seat with me. Now, wherever you're finishing, mentally or physically, you can draw hands to heart centers. You can bow your heads, thank your bodies. And I thank you for letting me be your guide. Namaste.